Hello people of the internet, it's Melinda Michelle, and it's been a while. a few months. I haven't been posting because I have felt very uninspirational for this channel, but hopefully I'll slowly get back into it. So the following video you are about to watch was actually filmed months ago, back in May. This is when it was the heart of quarantine and I had like no idea what was gonna happen, and I was scared out of my mind. And so I wanted to make a documentary of asking people my age how they felt being in lockdown and quarantine and just the pandemic in general. But sadly I lost all the footage except for my cousin's footage. My cousins Minette Cocking and Michaela Cocking. Now, they both live in Australia, Perth, Australia, Western Australia. I wanted to ask them during this time what quarantine was like for them living in Australia, because here in America, it's a hellhole. So in the following video, you're going to see my cousins Minette Cocking and Michaela Cocking exclaim how they feel and felt during their quarantine, which wasn't that long. What's your daily life like? So I know you guys aren't 100% in quarantine anymore, but...
Okay. Alright, for me, because I'm out of school 2 years now, it's pretty normal actually. Nothing really changed for me because I work in a supermarket, Coles. I only work like 15 hours a week, so it's not much, but like it's still something. And it's half an hour away from where I live, so it's in Freo. But like footy's only back now, where it wasn't there before. What else? But we got JobKeeper allowance, so the government's giving certain businesses and certain people money if you're eligible, because my company's lost more than 30% of its revenue, we're eligible for JobKeeper. So I get 13 grand a fortnight.
That sounds epic.
Now it's back to complete normal except for sport. So I'm going to school, like I'm catching the public bus to school, doing class in real time. Everything's back to normal in that regards. People are still having exams, that's going ahead. There's the only thing different for school is we're not having assemblies because that's a big group of people. My sport is starting back up, so basketball isn't but footy is, so I've just started footy, which is Australian rules, and so I'm just doing training at the moment, but everything other than that is pretty normal. Work for me is quite normal as well. Like I got hired just before COVID. So I actually got thrown in the deep end with the, like, because you know all the rush of people. I kind of had all that.
Oh, fun.
Thing of like massive amounts of food, but that's okay. With work actually, we're not allowed to stack people's bags for them. So generally we used to be able to, when people brought in bags that they brought from home so we could put their groceries in, we put them in there. But right now, we are currently unable to pack bags. And yeah, so my life's pretty almost normal now.
Boring.
And I'm actually able to hang out with my friends and everything. Like I've been to I'm going to the city next week.
She hung out with friends last night.
I did. I went for a sleepover. You know, we're able to hang out with friends. Everything's basically back to normal, except for a few people that are like social distancing when you stand next to them.
What was quarantine like when you were in like quarantine in Australia?
We never really went into full lockdown. So our quarantine, I still went to school. You could do online school, but I still went to school.
Yeah, so you had the choice of whether you wanted to go to school or not.
Yeah, I still went to school. I still caught the bus during quarantine, so to speak. Like, I had 1 week where our school was, like, cancelled. Like, it was, our holidays were moved forward. a week, so we had an extra week of holidays. Instead of having 2 weeks of holidays, we had 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So that's the only major issue with school. With work, no change. Like, the only thing was I couldn't hang out with any of my friends during the holidays. And I couldn't go out. All I could do was, like, stay at home. Stay at home, go to work. And that was about it. But, so it was a bit boring, but, like, it wasn't really as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was pretty normal. I still did everything. Went to work, came home, went to Jamie's house. The only thing was footy got cancelled, but that's it. I just got fat, so.
Did you have to wear masks and everything going out, or gloves?
No, it wasn't like compulsory. It's kind of up to you. But they sold out everywhere.
Yeah,
So
we never purchased gloves or masks. I caught the bus, I didn't wear gloves or mask. All we had was a bit of sanitizer. Like, I sanitized my hands.
yeah, like sanitizer sold out, so it was kind of like whatever you had at home.
Yeah, and with work, I had to wear gloves for work, but masks haven't been a thing for us that much.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The,
and not many, people definitely more than usual wear masks.
Some people like even because they sold out, people would go to like Bunnings and grab
yeah, those
like the gas masks,
masks.
like the painting ones, you know, like just the white ones that you have like the little thing on the nose
yeah.
and wear them around holes. And I was like,
Yeah, okay then.
you do you, boo.
So, how do you guys feel about quarantine and the virus?
So quarantine, to me, it was boring when I was at home for those few weeks. But if it's gonna help, like, I didn't really mind too much. You know, like it is what it is. You can't really change it, and it's the rules, and it's doing it to keep us safe. So it's in place for a reason. So you better respect that reason. In WA, we actually have like no cases at the moment. I think we have 6, but they were all from a ship, one ship. So like we have no cases at the moment of COVID.
You're just saying stats. You asked what do we think about it.
And so I'm leading into what I'm thinking.
Okay, sorry. Didn't know we were writing an essay.
So because we got no cases, I feel that I'm safe and I'm fine, and I don't really have any issues. Like, I hug my friends, I go see them. I'm not scared or anything, and also we have good healthcare, and so not really too worried.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed. Like, can you not touch your feet with my feet?
It's not on purpose.
It was scary at the beginning, like when it first, like, because it was like a meme, like, you know, in January, it was like, COVID,
Yeah.
or like, you know, coronavirus.
Eating bats.
Coronavirus. And all the TikToks and shit. And then it got to like beginning of March, and then it just kind of like got more serious, and I was kind of like, no, sorry, damn.
Yeah, I don't care. I can bleep it out.
Okay. As a character, it's just part of our culture, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a
I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know that you. I like.
yeah.
You don't want to have to like, you know, be like beeping out like.
Mum was in.
When it was like heavy, I guess it was a bit like, oh, this is actually real.
Mhm.
But then we went into like lockdown.
Yeah,
It wasn't even that bad.
Australia, like, no one could go in or out of Australia?
Yeah, so we had our borders up, so like even.
That is the good thing.
So no.
We're an island.
We're an island.
We're an island. And also, Perth, the city we live in, is the most
Isolated
city.
in the world.
It's like you planned that.
No.
We didn't. That was really good, bro. It's the most isolated capital city in the world, so that meant that we just shut down all our borders and no one could come in. And
Yeah.
it's
That's pretty chill. And like also we forgot to say all the non-essentials, so like beauty places, clothing shops, basically all like
hair places,
hair
nail
places,
places,
all those like kind of places like shut down.
Oh, gyms.
Gyms still not
Gyms.
open, so all that kind of shut down. So like the non-essentials. So that's why we were essential. We were essential. so we still got to wear. So that's why it was a bit of an upset because people like lost their jobs. So like you know, like coffee shops and restaurants, they shut down, or like they weren't allowed in. Like no people were allowed in restaurants, but now it's lifting, so you can have like 20 people in a restaurant at one time. But
I went out for Nando's the other day. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's yummy spicy chicken.
It's kind of like, oh no, it's not like anything. Next question.
How do you think the world is gonna change after all of this?
Travel won't go back to normal for like
that's gonna
a
suck.
few years. 3 years minimum.
And it's always gonna be an issue, I reckon.
I reckon our generation, so like your generation as well, we're going to suffer the most because we're going to have like the financial burden from the government giving out money, and now we're going to have to pay that back slowly.
Oh yeah.
And like we're suffering like because like me, like I wanted to like go travel next year, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Only if we do that, we might have a travel bubble with New Zealand. So if we go anywhere, it's in Australia or New Zealand. We're taking like the brunt of it, I think, which is annoying because like we're the generation that like wants to f***ing change everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah. So
I mean, Australia and America are similar in the way that they're both run by old white men.
yeah, and like it hurts us like us so much because we're all the ones that want to go outside and do stuff, but we're not allowed to, and it's like hard because obviously we don't want to like get our grandparents stick, and then hard for us, and because like this is when we want to like party
It's
and
just
do all that
annoying.
stuff.
It's like annoying, but we understand why obviously we have
Yeah.
to do it, and we're doing it. It's just frustrating.
Mm.
And it's even worse when you've got your friends and stuff who are going to these massive parties. You know, like,
Yeah.
people you know.
Yeah.
not
and
really
they're not
friends.
listening.
Yeah, and they're not listening. And then you see all these people doing this stuff when it was like in lockdown, and you're like,
I reckon for the next like maybe it'll start to wear off. Like everyone will be a bit cautious and
Yeah.
coughing and sneezing will be like a big deal for a while, and like sound will definitely be a big deal for
and
a
like
while.
sickness in school. Like I
Yeah,
feel like
if you're sick,
kids,
go home.
if kids are sick, they're gonna stay home more than going to school sick. Except us, because mum makes us.
Speaking of not coughing.
It'll just make everyone a lot more cautious with like germs.
Oh, there's gonna be some solid germaphobes.
Yeah, I
after
was
this.
about to say, like,
Yeah.
you'll get those mums that, wash your hands, and then sanitize as well.
And
I
those
think it might actually make, because like going out and playing like in the dirt, and you'd accidentally eat a leaf or like dirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like your immune system like gets tougher.
Yeah.
But with all this, it'll weaken a lot of immune systems, I reckon. So, like, the flu might come back. Ow! So, like, as much as the flu's obviously less right now as well because everyone's being so clean, it'll be interesting. I think immune systems will go down, so there'll be a lot more, like, different illnesses, maybe.
After listening to my cousins, I find it very strange, the difference between America and Australia and how they dealt with it. I do understand that in Australia, it's an island. It is isolated from the rest of the world, so it's a bit easier to shut down all your borders than it would be for America to shut down all of its borders. What I've mainly learned is Australia did something right. I find it very interesting, the differences between America and Australia. Right now, Australia, even though it has higher cases, it still is doing pretty well, while in America has higher cases, higher deaths, and I have no idea what we're gonna do for the future. If you guys want another video like this one, where I'm asking my cousins about the difference between Australia and America, please leave a like and a comment down below. I really did enjoy editing and filming this video because I love seeing the difference between my culture and my family's culture back in Australia. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you really want to. I'm not gonna make you.